As thousands of students are heading to Washington, D.C. for a March for Our Lives rally.
They are demanding their lives and safety become a priority and for an end to gun violence and mass shootings in schools. Similar marches are happening across the country and right here at home. Local 6's Brianna Clark joins us live from Memorial Park in Calvert City. So Brianna, students are marching there tomorrow, right?
They are, but they're not really marching with their feet. It's more their hearts. You can see right now this place is empty, but come tomorrow, students are hoping this will be full of people rallying for safer schools. And over here on the stage, there will be live music, guest speakers, even students are getting up here, some speaking out for the first time since the Marshall County High School shooting.
These kids aren't saying, let's just take everybody's guns away. They're saying, let me be able to go to school and not think I'm going to die that day.
Mitch Coy says parents have helped with parking, permits, and payments. It's the students that have done everything else. Live in Calvert City, Kentucky, Brianna Clark, WPST Local 6.
All right, Brianna, thank you.
And Jennifer, today's ruling comes ahead of tomorrow's March for Our Lives rallies. Student safety and security, mental health and home life, compassion and unity. These are just some of the things you're going to hear in the communities across the country and now here at home. Local 6's Brianna Clark joins us live from Memorial Park in Calvert City. Brianna, the big march is happening tomorrow in Washington, D.C. Whose idea was it to host one locally?
Students came up with the idea. More than a dozen of them from Marshall County High School, Murray, Callaway, and McCracken. And some of those students will be getting up on this stage, speaking out for the first time since the Marshall County High School shooting.
I've never heard her be scared of anything in my entire life, and when I called her that morning, she was terrified.
Mitch Coy continued to tell his niece, just breathe. Those words now tattooed on his body.
You just have to just keep going. Do what you can do to feel like you're making a difference.
It's what motivated local students to get up and do something.
And we've had kids say, if we would have done what the kids at Parkland did when this happened here, maybe Parkland wouldn't have happened. And they carry that with them. And, it's just a group, a generation of young people saying no more.
Enough is enough. This is just one of many posters students will stand in front of as they share their stories at the Marshall County March for Our Lives rally. Students picked Mitch to be the MC.
These kids aren't saying, let's just take everybody's guns away. They're saying, let me be able to go to school and not think I'm going to die that day. I hate that so many kids, it seems like, are being bullied by adults for wanting to stand up for that.
Also here tomorrow, special guest speakers and live music. Next to the stage, there will be a booth set up so you can register to vote. Students will also be selling t-shirts. Some of that money will be used to pay for the event. The rest will go to the victims of the Marshall County High School shooting. Live in Calvert City, Kentucky, Brianna Clark, WPST Local 6.
New at 6, local moms are banding together, speaking out against gun violence. They're creating a safe space where others can do the same.
Moms Demand Action. It's a national nonprofit, nonpartisan group. And now there's a chapter in Paducah. Local 6's Brianna Clark joins us live. And Brianna, the Paducah chapter, it started because of the shooting at Marshall County High School?
Actually, it was not. Paducah's chapter leader tells me they started making plans to start the group back in early January. The shooting happened just a few weeks later, but that encouraged them, made them even more determined to want to get the group started. Then, just this last weekend, the chapter's leader took this stage at the Marshall County March for Our Lives rally, speaking out to a crowd of people for the first time about gun violence in America.
Every single bit of this has been done by these kids.
I was nervous, but having the kids behind me made it so much easier.
Krista DeBrock is the chapter leader for Paducah's Moms Demand Action. She says the group isn't anti-gun, it's anti-gun violence.
The goal is actually to keep our families and kids safe.
Her kids are not in school anymore, but her grandkids are.
It's really difficult because I didn't grow up in this age. You know, I grew up in an age where stuff like this had never happened before. People weren't concerned about things like this. The worst we had was a tornado drill.
Now, students are doing active shooter drills, something Krista says they shouldn't have to worry about in school or anywhere else. She says this isn't going to be easy. Change takes time, but it's not stopping these women from pushing forward.
It's a marathon. We didn't get here overnight. It's not a sprint. A lot of people are looking for quick answers, easy answers, but it's going to take a lot.
Before Krista took the stage, several students from Marshall County High School got up here, speaking out, sharing their stories, and demanding change. Now some of those students are facing backlash, not just from other classmates, but from adults. Tomorrow on Local 6, I'll share how they are handling the bullying. For now, live in Calvert City, Kentucky, Brianna Clark, WPSD Local 6.
Brianna, thank you. For more information on Moms Demand Action, text the word READY to 64433. Local students face backlash after voicing concerns about school safety.
Speaking out at first was very easy. It was easy because I didn't realize just how vicious people could be.
Mindless cows brainwash kids.
Rebels without a clue. These are just some of the things adults are saying about local students speaking out against gun violence. Local 6's Brianna Clark joins us now live. So Brianna, where are these comments posted?
On Facebook, most of them on the WPSD fan page. And we've had to since delete quite a few comments because they were just downright vicious. And I first started noticing the remarks when we were here last Saturday live streaming the Marshall County March for Our Lives rally. But one student tells me she's been dealing with these comments for weeks.
Another rich, spoiled brat trying to get attention. No one can take you serious if you lie or you're just completely ignorant. If you're doing this just to get out of class, then you're a bigger dumb than those actually going to protest. From the lips of my son, what kind of retard marches to demand their rights be taken away? Why weren't you shot?
Marshall County High School junior Keaton Connor has been very vocal about student safety after a deadly shooting at her school.
Seeing these negative comments, it's hurtful, but it could be a lot worse. You know, I could show up to school tomorrow and this could happen all over again.
She's speaking out for the kids who can't and for the ones whose parents won't let them.
I'm sure it'd be a lot easier on my parents if I didn't speak out, you know? They wouldn't be getting Facebook remarks. They wouldn't have friends of their own be saying these things.
Keaton says the backlash really started once her story got more attention. Then on Saturday, she and other students put together this rally where they spoke out against gun violence. And that irritated some classmates.
And they have every right to feel that way.
Mitch Coy was the MC at the rally, and these students have made it a point to include him in what's going on.
They're staying strong. They have moments where they're upset, where it gets to them, but they feel like what they did was right and that they would do it again.
Stop the silence! End gun violence! There are kids at school. Nobody said anything to my face, but there have been childish social media posts.
But for the most part, it's the adults saying things like same type of brats eating Tide Pods, liberal brainwashed kids who are brainwashed by your liberal teachers, mindless cows. They need to change some of their own attitudes at school. After all, one of their own did the shooting. Twits, rebels without a clue.
A good portion of the people who are bullying kids are probably turning around and saying, well, just don't bully kids and that's going to solve the problem.
If people want to hate me, that's their own problem. Because at the end of the day, if this happens to them or their child, they'll have to deal with the fact that they were sitting at home on Facebook belittling a 16-year-old girl who's just trying to make a difference.
Keaton tells me she's not going to let these or any other comments silence her. Right now, she's currently pushing forward with other students, planning other ways that they can spread awareness about school safety. Live in Marshall County, Kentucky, Brianna Clark, WPSD Local 6.
Brianna, thank you. The school tells us they have not gotten any reports about backlash from other students after the rally. If they did, Marshall County Superintendent says they would have addressed the situation and continued to follow up. The school is encouraging students to come forward and report their concerns.